9-minute Dhammapada, Part 10. The world gives according to their faith or according to their pleasure. If a man frets about the food and the drink given to others, he will find no rest, either by day or by night. He in whom that feeling is destroyed and taken out with the very root finds rest by day and by night. There is no fire like passion, there is no shark like hatred, there is no snare like folly, there is no torrent like greed. The fault of others is easily perceived, but that of oneself is difficult to perceive. A man winnows his neighbor's faults like chaff, but his own fault he hides, as a cheat hides the bad die from the gambler. If a man looks after the faults of others and is always inclined to be offended, his own passions will grow, and he is far from the destruction of passions. There is no path through the air. A man is not a samana by outward acts. The world delights in vanity. The Tathagats or the Buddhas are free from vanity. There is no path through the air. A man is not a Shramana by outward acts. No creatures are eternal, but the awakened are never shaken. Chapter 19. The Just. A man is not just if he carries a matter by violence. No, he who distinguishes both right and wrong, who is learned and leads others not by violence but by law and equity, and who is guarded by the law and intelligent, he is called just. A man is not learned because he talks much. He who is patient, free from hatred and fear, he is called learned. A man is not a supporter of the law because he talks much, even if a man has learnt little, but sees the law bodily, he is a supporter of the law, a man who never neglects the law. A man is not an elder because his head is grey. His age may be ripe, but he is called old in vain. He in whom there is truth, virtue, love, restraint, moderation. He who is free from impurity is wise. He is called an elder. An envious, greedy, dishonest man does not become respectable by means of much talking only, or by the beauty of his complexion. He in whom all this is destroyed and taken out with the very root, he, when freed from hatred and vice, is called respectable. Not by tonsure does an undisciplined man who speaks falsehood become a Shramana. Can a man be a Shramana who is still held captive by desire and greediness? He who always quiets the evil, whether small or large, he is called a Samana, that is, a quiet man, because he has quieted all evil. A man is not a mendicant simply because he asks others for alms. He who adopts the whole law is a bhikshu, not he who only begs. He who is above good and evil, who is chaste, who with knowledge passes through the world, he indeed is called a bhikshu. A man is not a muni because he observes silence. If he is foolish and ignorant, but the wise who, taking the balance, chooses the good and avoids evil, he is a muni, and as a muni thereby. He who in this world weighs both sides is called a muni. A man is not an elect because he injures living creatures. Because he has pity on all living creatures, therefore is a man called Ariya. Not only by discipline and vows, not only by much learning, not by entering into a trance, not by sleeping alone, do I earn the happiness of release, which no worldling can know. Bhikshu, be not confident as long as thou hast not attained the extinction of desires. Chapter 20. The Way. The best of ways is the eightfold. The best of truths, the 4 words. The best of virtues, passionlessness. The best of men, he who has eyes to see. This is the way, there is no other, that leads to the purifying of intelligence. Go on this way, everything else is the deceit of Mara. If you go on this way, you will make an end of pain. The way was preached by me when I had understood the removal of the thorns in the flesh. You yourself must make an effort. The Tathagatas are only preachers. The thoughtful who enter the way are freed from the bondage of Mara. All created things perish. He who knows and sees this becomes passive in pain. This is the way to purity. All created things are grief and pain. He who knows and sees this becomes passive in pain. This is the way that leads to purity. All forms are unreal. He who knows and sees this becomes passive in pain. This is the way that leads to purity. He who does not rouse himself when it is time to rise, who, though young and strong, is full of sloth, whose will and thought are weak, that lazy and idle man will never find the way to knowledge. Watching his speech, well restrained in mind, let a man never commit any wrong with his body. Let a man but keep these 3 roads of action clear, and he will achieve the way which is taught by the wise. End of part 10. 9-minute Dhammapada.
Mano